Welcome again to another episode of the Washington SXM podcast. As always, like, share, comment, and subscribe. Don't forget to click that bell icon to notify whenever I drop a video. So today we're going to discuss about the Prime Minister of Russia, the Russian Prime Minister Lavrov. He was in Africa recently doing a bilateral meeting with M. Bambani, the Minister of South Africa. They were this. I don't know what they discussed privately, but recently Russia and South Africa did a giant military operation with China as well, right? And also South Africa allow yachts from the sanctioned yachts to come and dock in South Africa. And America kick up about it because America had sent over the Secretary of State to basically threaten Africa, saying if they don't stop doing the drills, stop the drills, or stop making the yachts come into dock in South Africa Bay, they're gonna sanction them. But what America is failed to realizing, um, so South Africa and Russia is in BRICS together. They are along with India, Brazil, and that's it, five of them. And Saudi Arabia recently joined. So how you want South Africa to turn their backs against Russia, who have been helping them financially over the years, while you turn your back on Africa, and they are joint in different in different doing different ventures in Africa. Russia have been doing. So now Russia need them. They must turn them back on Russia. South Africa is a sovereign nation. They are independent and they can make up their own decisions. So this coming and threatening them won't work because they try to do it with the US dollar, but the US dollar is losing its power because the BRICS gonna have a giant currency backing with gold and oil to make it strong. So the US just not can bully nobody with their currency, especially Africa. But watch this video and listen to what the Prime Minister of Russia said.
Good afternoon, everyone. My question is solely on the influence that the Western has. You've also talked about it on your speech, where you talked about the Western or the Americans having influence on Ukraine. But then, how would you respond to the recent reports that the Western rather are influencing the SADC community, like the Southern African Development Community, not to trade with Russia? So what would be your response on that?
I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised. in July last year, I had another tour in Africa, starting with Arab League, Egypt and Arab League. And it was well known and discussed publicly that before my visit, the Western representatives came to the Arab League headquarters and tried to dissuade them from meeting with me, which I think is absolutely unprecedented in diplomatic practice. And if you are in favor of democratic principles, let everybody to decide. African countries, including Arab countries, they are grown-ups. They are not school children. And to teach them good manners in accordance with the Western standards and Western values, I believe is unacceptable. And I'm not amazed that wherever I go, our Western colleagues are trying to do some prevention and to impress upon my hosts some behavior which the Americans would like. And we very much appreciate and respect the position of all our partners who, in situations like this, are guided not by the orders from former colonial powers, and from those who would like to dominate the world now, but are guided by the legitimate national interests. And most of them do not shy away from saying so publicly. I believe if you are a pioneer of democracy, respect democracy in international relations as well. We quoted today the United Nations Charter, which says the UN is based on sovereign equality of states. Respect this sovereign equality. Let the people decide whether they want to condemn somebody, whether they want to support somebody, whether they want to take a neutral position. It's their sovereign right. And to demand obedience is, my president said, that what we see today is another manifestation of colonialism in new historical conditions. So this is life, unfortunately. We cannot change our Western friends and make them polite and behaving democratic way overnight. They are agitated because the dominance which they enjoyed in the world for at least 5 centuries is fading away. Multipolar world is emerging. Powers like China, India, Turkey, Egypt, Africa as a huge, rich continent, and many people say that this is the future of the world. Latin America, of course, Brazil, Argentina, Mexico. Those powerhouses of their respective regions, and to a large extent for the world economy, as China and India are, you cannot ignore them. And you cannot dictate to them that they should develop the way which will continue to enrich the West. This is what colonialism is about. And they understand the painful feelings of US and Europe, because the structure of the international relations is changing, becoming multipolar, polycentric. It would not happen overnight. It will be a rather extended historical epoch. But we are moving in that direction. It's an objective movement. And things like those which you quoted are only one example of the attempts to stop the objective course of history. Again, we accept this as a given. The Western countries would be trying to keep their dominance as much as they can. Hopefully they would understand that the means they choose to keep the dominance cannot be without limits. Not very optimistic, I understand. Thank you.
So you see there, people, you see where he's saying that you can't go around bullying nations. You no longer have that power because you have a lot of emerging economies right now, which is the Americas, which is Argentina, all them back up the line. But and America have been bullying people for so much years. They enjoy this being on top, the big dog in the playground, the bully. They dictate world economies. They dictate who can join what and who can come, and if they don't like it, they sanction you, or they help do coups or assassinations to get to the presidents of countries, and it's been proven, it's been done. I always bring up Libya and Iraq and Nigeria, South Africa as well. There are a few coups that the Americans and NATO aided in helping. Zimbabwe as well is another one. So I have no I have no sympathy for America with their downward trajectory they're doing right now, especially with this woke movement away again, making it even worse. So they can no longer bully Africa, and this is why Africa is rising right now. The different countries in Africa is rising because they have 55 countries in Africa right now, the continent. So and a few of them are rising to the top with the economies growing massively, and China is investing heavily in Africa as well. And America don't like that. They don't like that. Africa will be independent, don't need nothing from them, because a few African nations already tell America that they don't need them, they don't need their help, they don't need their vaccine. A few of them did this because again, America too like to use their currency to box up people all over the world, and it's backfiring because Venezuela turning back against them when they came to get some oil from them. So Arabia did the same thing. India did the same thing. So all these countries that they're running to for oil, who they have been sanctioning and blocking and destabilizing the economy, now they're feeling it coming back home to roost, basically. So I hope you enjoyed that little knowledge you should gain. So you know it is again, it's a Washington SSN podcast as always. Don't forget to subscribe for all the who came, and thanks to my subscribers I already have. Thanks for the support, and thanks for sticking with me. And for the newcomers, for those who are just watching and not subscribing, it's easy. Just go to the lower left of your screen or the right. I don't know which side is on, depending on where you be, and just click subscribe for me so you can help the channel to grow, so we can get to do more videos and bring more knowledge to the masses. I don't know this, so it's peace, one love, boom.